So guys, when you think about it, the most likable people and the most memorable ones in Far Cry are not the protagonists or some side characters that we meet. It's mostly the antagonists of the games. And especially in Far Cry 3, 4 and 5 a little bit, we kind of sympathize with the antagonist and sometimes even think about whether he really is the bad guy. So in today's video I wanted to talk about how the Far Cry series makes the antagonists more likable for the player. So firstly, you got to realize that in 99% of video games, the antagonists are plainly said black and white, okay? They're either good or bad. You know, you have your typical villains that are just mean and brutal people. But in some games, we get the refreshing difference that the antagonists are actually likable and not plainly brutal dictators. And in the Far Cry series, it's even more extreme because everybody, when you think about the most interesting characters and most likable characters even in the Far Cry series, they almost always include some antagonists. And now one obvious point why that is are the very charismatic performances of some of the antagonists. When you think about Vaz or Pagan Min, they are really charismatic people with a lot of life in them. I mean, very often the voice actors are very known actors and are not just those typical villains that want to kill you all the time and are just bad people. They really have their own personalities that the players kind of like. And while playing Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4, I really had the feeling that Vaz and Pagan really were the only real people that put life into the game, because they were so charismatic and likable compared to a lot of other side characters that we met in the franchise. Another important aspect why players like the antagonists so much are their complex motivations. You know, by exploring their backgrounds and understanding the reasons for their actions, we players really emphasize a lot with their struggles, even if we don't agree with their methods. And again, it's not black and white, like they just want to kill you and that's their only goal. They have really complex motivations for their actions and how they act towards you. And pair that with the personal connection that gets developed with some of the antagonists, I mean, that's a really good mixture. I mean, in Far Cry 4, Pagan Min even was related to the protagonist of the game, so he wasn't just some random guy, he was literally family. And his personal connection to RJ came out very strong, and you could really see how he treated AJ as like his son almost. Moreover, we got to say that those antagonists that are so likable by the players really are very unique and not similar to one another. You know, when you think about Vaz, Pagan Min, Joseph Seed, or even Anton Castillo from Far Cry 6, each antagonist has a unique personality that sets them apart from the others. You know, whether it is a twisted sense of humor, or a tragic backstory, or just a captivating relationship with the protagonists, all of them have their unique reasons and their unique acting. And obviously this video wouldn't be complete if I didn't talk about one aspect why they are so likable and memorable, the incredible and epic scenes that some of them are featured in. Like, guys, if you think about the most epic and memorable scenes in all of Far Cry, I immediately thought about Vaz and his monologue in the end of Far Cry 3, and I immediately thought about the ending of Far Cry 5, which includes Joseph Seed talking to us while a huge bomb in the background explodes. I mean, those scenes were really epic and were kind of the cherry on top. And when you think about the other antagonists from the Far Cry series, like Mickey and Lou from Far Cry 6 or the antagonists from Far Cry Primal, they don't really have those things that I just mentioned. And you know, it's not just one thing that makes a character memorable, it's really a mixture of all of those points that I just listed. And in my opinion, a lot of other developers could really look at Far Cry, especially when it comes to the antagonists, because when it comes to the story and the lore of the games, they are really the characters that set the games apart. You know, it's not about the side characters or about the protagonists, it really always is about the antagonists when you think about the most epic characters in the Far Cry franchise. And those points that I just listed really make them what they are in their respective games. So guys, now I'm interested in your opinion. Why do you think the Far Cry antagonists are so likable? And do you agree with my points, or are there any other aspects that really make them what they are in their respective games? And I'll be ranking every Far Cry game in an upcoming video that will probably come out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So subscribe to the channel if you're also a fan of open world games like the Far Cry series. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.